All right, we're live. Hey, for lifers, it's that time of the month, third Saturday of the month. We're here with Community Chatterday. And today's topic is going to be one that people have been asking about, or at least in the Chatterday group, have been wanting to do. And it's pretty logical here. We're Transformers focused channel here, but it is about the G1 show. So we're going to be chatting about the G1 show. Uh, we're gonna have a few new, or we're gonna have at least one new segment. But seeing as it's late and I have a history of going long on these, I try to keep it short. But really quickly, I want to give a shout out to some folks. Lowell Martin said he's working tonight, so he's not gonna be able to make it. Oh, Dave, True Star Screamer. I was told there'd be punch and pie. Well, there will be a punchline that's devoted to you for sure. So we got Big M, the Titan, Professor Soundwaves, Grimlock, and Primax, and so forth. So before we get started, wanted to thank everyone here. We're going to start doing some introductions. So let me go ahead and start with the presentation. Ooh, and I always forget who did this. I got to do a better job, but this artist who did this is phenomenal. Looks really great. I actually use this background as one of my like intro to my channel back in the day before I got Toy Dojo sponsor and did a little bit something a little bit different. So if you guys know the artist, it looks like it's on the side here, but I can't read it because of the resolution. Yeah, it's like M. Halen, maybe? I don't know. In any case, let's start off with guest tech specs. So as you can see here, we got 6 guests here, but because I'm so cheap and I don't have the paid version of this, Anthony Brown Jr.'s in backstage. We'll have him come on real quick and we'll start cycling through people.
He's in the green room.
But yeah, he's in the green room. In the green room, he was literally shaking his head like,
Yeah.
cheap guy.
Actually, the green room is actually for the paid subscription. So
Anthony's probably like, the amount of money I've donated in super chats that I should at least be on here.
You
But in any case, let's go through the roster here.
not
Start
wrong.
off with Ridiculous Badger. Let us know who you are, where we might know you from. If you want to plug any of your channels or social media, let us know. But otherwise, let's get started.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Thanks for having me on again, Pig. You might know me as one of the moderators on Pig for Life server, or the admin from the Show Z Discord, or I just pop up in everybody's Discord server and on everybody's YouTube channel. That's me.
Well, thanks so much. Thanks for coming back. All right, let's go to. Oh, sorry, clicked the wrong one. Let's go to Shoki next, who just dropped $20 unnecessarily. He's already in the lead for the annual donations. And
Am I still in the lead after all this time? It's been like 3 months.
It's not even close. Well, because you dropped like $50 one time, I think.
That's true. That is true. I did flex that one stream. Hi guys, Shoki from Shoki Reviews, or the Now You Made It Awkward podcast, or the It Doesn't Have to Make Sense channel. You can follow me at any of those things, and I'm here mostly because I wanted to see Ridiculous Badger in action. Oh, and I wish Anthony Brown was here, but well,
get in line, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Shoki, for making it, and thank you for your generosity.
Pay just a little bit for it. I will help you. I mean, right there. That's 1 month's worth.
I know.
Well, wait, dude.
I don't have any friends like T-Man, TM, and like Figure Action Podcast. They all share one, which I don't know if is against the terms of services or not. Not trying to call anybody out here and get them booted off StreamYard, but I'm just saying. All right, well, let's go to Shirokuro next, all the way down here. All right, let's go to you, Shiro.
Somewhere. Hi, I'm Shirokuro. I'm on the Discord. Hi.
Hi.
That's it.
Short and sweet. All right, We'll take that. All right, next up is Solace, who we've already made our token young guy. He already claimed only person under 30. You could tell by the wrinkles on our faces.
Yeah. So I'm just here to provide a different perspective, different generation, different century. But yeah, I'm on Discord. I lost Solus to somebody else younger than me, so my handle is Toxitron. But yeah, I'm on Discord. I don't really have any other social medias for Transformers, but
nice.
Excited to be here.
Nice. And love the shirt. Can you want to show off the shirt?
Yeah, so this is the official ShowZ shirt. You guys can purchase this on ShowZ store. Shameless promotion. But
Shameless.
good store. Join our Discord server. I'm active in it.
Yes, he and Ridiculous are admins or moderators. I don't know. I forget what the title is. Extraordinaire.
Don't expose me as a Discord mod. That's criminal.
All right, Robot Show Tunes, you're up next.
Hi. Also on the Discord. I think that's true of everyone. If you're here, you're on the Discord. And socials, it's Robot Show Tunes on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, which is not active anymore, and Mastodon and Tumblr. And I lurk.
Mastodon.
I'm the official lurker on the Get Swole channel.
I also
That's one of
lurk.
our channels.
Don't open that can.
In my channel. All right, so let me kick someone out real quick and then bring somebody in. Oh, well, I'm just gonna basically rotate through the front. So Ridiculous, you started
just
first.
kick
I'm
me.
removing you.
Bye.
didn't
miss
even
Patrick.
let him finish. All right, Anthony
There
Brown,
he is.
one of our regulars here.
He finally freed me. My people fought long and hard for this country, for the right for me
I paid for it. I paid for you to be
to
free.
be here. I'm Anthony Brown. I'm always in Pake's stream, paying $1.99 for him to put up Springer. So that's the guy. You can find me probably wherever Pake is in his videos, just making random comments. I appreciate the freedom. Shout out to Shoki for springing me. I promise to be on my best behavior so I don't go back into Pake jail.
What about the Danger Room podcast?
Yes, Infinite Danger Room podcast. We're there pumping out comic stuff right now. We're really big into the Fall of X-Men or the Fall of X. You can also find me, I don't know, on random USC podcasts, USC football, or SC for short, because I know people don't like sports ball here.
I love sports ball.
You can check me out. November 3rd, we're actually being honored 20-year anniversary of our national championship team. So you'll see us on the field November 3rd, USC versus Washington. So it should be a good game. See me with all the old guys out there. So I'm sure that Solus wasn't born when that happened, but you know, things happened before you were born.
He wasn't born before G1 happened.
I know.
I wasn't born before car robots, man. Come on now.
Oh my gosh! All right. So those are our guest test specs. We're gonna go on, jump right into it. We're already starting at 10 o'clock, which is later than usual. But so let's get into it. We always started off the same way here, so we always like to ease people into the Chatterday. First things up, everybody knows it. Everybody loves it. It's this or that. So for those of you who are new here and don't know the rules, this or that is a segment where you get two things. We're going to present one option versus the other. You got to come in and land on one side or the other of this discussion. No offense setting, no caveating. You got to just say, this is where I am. This is where I'm going for. And obviously, again, this is a G1 TV cartoon / TV show centered topic all day today. So all of these will be centered around that. So if you're in the live stream right now, there is going to be a poll that's going on live, so you can participate and have fun, not just us. All right. So let's get into it. Let me go ahead and post the poll. All right. The first one is, are you U.S. Transformers G1? So, you know, like kind of the 3 seasons that we had there. Or are you the Japanese trilogy? So lumping all the G1 Japanese into one. And so we'll open it up, let everyone talk. Again, I'll cycle through people so we can get Ridiculous in here to cast his vote. But everyone can vote in the live stream as well. So anybody here want to go up first and let us know what your thoughts are?
I'll go first, because then you can bump me after that, I guess. So I'm USG1 all the way. I never finished the Japanese series. I tried the English dub of the Japanese series, and that was horrendous. But I mean, that's the USG1 is probably the reason why we're all here. So I mean, USG1 all the way.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. All right, well, that's a good one. All right, who else? Anyone immediately in opposition to that? Let's make that. See if this is an easy one.
Nope.
No.
No.
What about
All right,
Benji?
all right, hold on. Let me just preface this. I feel like this is going to be a blowout for USG1 because I feel like Headmasters really like plummets JG1 for a lot of people, and then Master Force is like really like I think Super Sentai / Tokatsu coded, so it's like not Transformers for some people. And then Victory is good, but like, are you really sitting through? Are you like really going to put Headmasters on like this side? Like, it's not really a fair comparison, you know? Like,
Yeah. I feel like it was gonna be one-sided, but we do have some people who are actually saying Japanese on the poll. So I was hoping we'd have somebody that might. I was also thinking maybe Robot Show Tunes because he's on the other side of the pond there. Maybe he grew up on the Japanese one first.
No.
No, not at all.
No. For the longest time, we didn't have. I didn't have in our house. We didn't have cable until I was 15, and the local channels only the local channels only showed G1 American. So I have not watched a single episode of the Japanese G1.
Oh, interesting. All right. Well, hold on one second. Let me pull in Ridiculous real quick to see if he has an opposing opinion. I doubt he does. He's already shaking his head no. Ridiculous now? Not at all.
Yeah, why are we having this conversation? You know, like.
Well, okay. Well, let's open it up a little bit more and say that the people. So Solace told us that he kind of enjoys some of the series. I actually liked Headmasters. I mean, some of the characters there I thought were really unique. I didn't think some of them were really worthwhile, but like the twin cast and stuff like that, I was like, yeah, whatever with that. But I like certain characters like Punch Counter Punch. I thought that was an interesting take. Although I thought it was super stupid. I'm like, come on, guys, how do you guys not know that this is the same dude, right? Like he walks
he's got
down
the
in
same
1
alt
second.
mode regardless of what faction he's. But Pig, I'm gonna call you out now. This is this or that. There's no fence sitting.
Well, I just wanted to see because everyone already said everyone's US. That kind of I figured it was going to be a blowout, but I would just want to see if anybody had some good words about the Japanese series.
It's not terrible. It's just not what we got.
Yeah. All right. Well, we won't belabor. We'll go to the next one. I'm going to stop the poll here real quick first before we go on. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Let me make sure I. True Star Senior said Master Force was pretty good, but the other two were painful. Yeah. Well, I didn't think it was that painful. Plus, you can count Zone. Yeah.
Do we have
what
to?
else we got here?
You do kind of have to say though, Victory is the best theme song ever. Come on, the theme songs are way better with the Japanese shows because it's actually something that like they hire like real bands, you know. Although the G1 movie,
you're poo-pooing on the G1 US
dude,
intro.
come on,
the early theme, not the later theme.
Season 3, awesome theme. Yeah. The movie, awesome. Season 1, I mean, come on, dude, it's a cartoon theme song.
All right, well, we had 8% of folks saying that the Japanese trilogy was superior. So Grimlock thinks Victory rules. And yeah, Prince Nat pointed out it still doesn't add to 100% because only 91% voted for G1. For US.
Well, that little 1% is the Rebirth.
All right, next up, and I'll put this in the poll as well. This is going to be, I feel like, a little bit more controversial. So, of these two, which is your favorite G1 voice actor? And it's the two big ones. I'm not going to make this one easy.
Of course he is.
Dude.
Peter Cullen or Frank Welker?
Hold on, though. Are we saying within Transformers, or are we saying career?
Ooh, that's a good one.
A rough one.
No,
dude.
Transformers.
Oh yeah, let's keep it Transformers.
Okay,
that's just not fair. That's just not fair.
Yeah.
It's still not fair, honestly.
It's still not really that fair,
right?
Because you also have to say with G1 Transformers because they both have done multiple Transformers.
Yes,
series.
again, this is a G1 Transformer show. So
yeah, so we got to keep
as much
it within
as you can
G1.
focus your energy on the G1 voice actors here.
Look, I'll jump right the hell in, man, dude. It's got to be Frank Welker. I'm sorry. Listen, Peter Cullen has made this. He's really gotten a ton out of Optimus. That's great, and yeah, he was great with Ironhide. Fine, Frank Welker and like Chris Latta did like 90% of the show. So I gotta go to Frank Welker, man.
All right, we got Frank Wilker. All right, anybody here who wants to give opposition to that?
Nope. No, I kind of like I like Frank Welker as well. He is like I mean, it's like, and I feel like as well, like we've heard a lot more of Peter Cullen doing different Optimuses, and we haven't heard so much of Frank Welker doing different Megatrons, like in different iterations of the franchise and stuff. And it's almost like, I don't know, none of the other Megatrons really compare for me. So
Didn't he do Prime Megatron and then also the later Megatron in the Bayverse?
Yeah, he did.
he did, but they did the Bay one later on, right? The first movie was what was it? Hugo.
That was Hugo Weaving in first two.
Yeah.
And he came in later for Galvatron and Megatron, I believe. Definitely Galvatron.
Yeah. Well, they should have brought him in the first time. That was a mistake.
All right. So are you you're saying another vote for Frank?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. For me, I'm saying Peter.
Saying Peter. All right. What's your argument there?
I think it's just, for me, Optimus has always been the bigger icon to me personally. Like, Megatron's great, but there's Optimus. He's a big blue and red and white semi-truck, and this guy voiced
America.
And like, honestly, like I think the other thing is Frank Welker can do a pretty good range of voices, and I guess Peter can a little bit, but for the most part, he's like, I'm just going to be Optimus Prime in all the things.
Or Eeyore.
Yeah, or Eeyore. It's like, but we're going with G1 Optimus, though. It's like, but to me, I guess it's just always going to be that. Like, Welker is great, of course, but I mean, it's Prime. It's just that icon. Man.
All right. Well, I'll go really quickly, and I'll say that. Sorry. Well, now you're removed. I meant to shorten your thing, but Shoki's now banned to another round.
for his opinion.
Yeah, your opinion doesn't matter. So
that's what you get for disagreeing with Pate.
No, I didn't even vote.
He's like the only one who's good on camera and on mic besides Pake. Also, get him out of it.
I know. He's taking.
Hey, I'll take offense to that.
So for me, I'm definitely all about Prime. However, I think that Frank Welker did more with Megatron than Peter did with Optimus. I think they also gave him a little bit more, I guess, to work with, I would say, in general. I don't know. I guess you can maybe compare it to saying that Optimus kind of feels like the Captain America or like maybe a Superman. That might not be the greatest, but I feel like you got maybe a little bit more range with Megatron to work with. So that's probably why. I mean, it's a tough one, but even though I'm a big Optimus fan, my favorite G1 character, I think we're voice actors and trying not to, but it does influence it, like his just entire history. I mean, it just kind of adds up. So I'm Team Frank on this one.
Do you think he would have changed how he did Megatron if he knew he'd be doing it for 35 years? You know what I mean? Like, that's a hard voice, man.
Yeah.
I'm a tap in opposition. I feel like this has become a volume versus like
quantity over quality.
Exactly. So like the best way I can do this is a sports ball debate, because this honestly feels like Tim Duncan versus Kevin Garnett. Like, yeah, Tim Duncan has the better resume that spans 20 years of like Frank Welker in the G1 show has like all of this like resume here, and his role is like really expressive. Megatron's voice is like unforgettable. It's like so grating in a way that like you automatically remember it. But Prime is the emotional center of the show, in my opinion. Everything goes through him. Without him, there is no like 35 years of like this existence. I feel like he's the character you relate to and like you bond to, especially if you're a child watching it. Like as a kid, one of the most because I watched the show as a kid, even though I'm the wrong generation, I did watch parts of it, and Peter's voice has always been like a defining part of my Transformers experience because of that, and because of other media. But like a lot of my Transformers media, I did not have Peter Cullen as my Optimus Prime. You know, I had David Kay, and I had Gary Chalk. So I had like a whole bunch of other things going on other than Peter Cullen. But his voice is like such a emotional cornerstone for the franchise that like this is like the 2004 KG MVP season. It's one of the greatest things I've ever witnessed. Right? it for me personally, like, yeah, it might be wrong objectively, but for me personally, that's why I'm on Team Prime.
Well, I think it's funny that you say that, like, because my kids were forced to watch Transformers G1 with me. Obviously, they're even younger than you, but I don't know why, but my son he's a Decepticon like through and through. He's like Optimus, boo, Megatron, yeah. He's like pro Decepticon. He couldn't care less. I feel like he's always been like a little bit on the evil side of everything he's watched. He always thinks like the good guys are boring for some reason.
Better watch out for that one.
You might want to keep an eye
But
on
I do
that.
think Salas raised some really great points.
Well, I was gonna jump into. I'm pro Peter Cullen, because I mean, look at the Bayverse movie, the very first one. It meant more to everyone, and if you were in the same theater as me, the moment you heard Peter Cullen's voice as Prime, the entire theater erupted with happiness and clapping and standing ovations and all that stuff. When Welkin wasn't Megatron, we didn't skip a beat. When all these other cartoons pop up with other voices for Megatron, no one skips a beat. But any cartoon that we watch that has Peter Cullen as Prime, it sets your mind and your heart at ease, and you're just like, okay, it's a vibe.
That is true, but I will disagree with you in the sense that I was definitely super upset when it wasn't Frank Welker doing Megatron. Like, I feel like if he had that at the very get-go as well, I feel like it might not be as much of the vibe as you're saying, or much of it as a reaction as the Peter Cullen one. But I definitely was super disappointed. And when they brought him back eventually, I was like, F yeah! Like now the team's back together, right? The band's back together. All right. So did everyone get a chance to vote? All right, Robot, where are you at?
My bad, T-Man. I meant Welker, not Welkin.
I vote Cullen, Peter Cullen. This is because I think for the most part, I watched G1 quite recently, maybe a few years back, and through the lens of an adult, maybe this is also has something to do with the characterization of Megatron, because you have the, like Sola said, the voice is so grating. Nobody talks like this. Megatron, viewing him as an adult, he's such a mustache twirling villain. There's only one side to him, and Optimus Prime, you see him faced with dilemmas like a bad choice and an even worse choice. He doesn't know which is which. So there's more substance to him. And what's that episode where he was he's supposed he was gonna rescue Bumblebee and a bunch of others from this sort of headhunter,
the game master, or whatever his name is.
Oh yeah, and then there was this trap with this. I'm not sure what it was. There was a human girl or something that looked like a human girl, and he saw through that, and he didn't save her. It was one of the most this moment is from when I was a child watching. Whoa, that is so cold, and it Prime has more dimension to him. At least the G1 Prime.
Again, now we're talking about Prime as a character versus Megatron. We're talking about voice actors, though.
Yeah, but yeah, the grating voice doesn't help.
You think it's grating? I always enjoyed it. All right, anybody else?
It is grating. Like,
it is really.
Yeah, but I think in the way it's like
it really drives.
Right? I love it, but it's grating.
Yeah,
like,
it drives home.
It's meant to be grating. I think it's meant to be.
It is, man.
Make you feel uncomfortable.
It's okay to admit it, Pink.
Yeah, Chiro, where did you land? I don't remember if you voted yet.
I think I did. I said Frank Welker.
Okay, all right. So let's close the poll here. Very even split. Like, I actually thought it would be further than this, but Peter won with 53% of the votes, with Frank Welker with 46, and then 1% going to Gary Chalk or I don't know who else. All right.
Lotta.
Yeah.
All right, last this or that, and then we'll go on to the next segment.
Oh yeah.
All right, from the G1 movie.
Okay.
Which of these deaths would you like to retcon? So, would you like to bring back the favorite medic, Ratchet, or bring back Prowl? All right, so let me throw this in the
It's
live
gotta
stream
be,
while you
it's
guys
gotta be
do that.
Ratchet
For this.
because Prowl is an asshole. Sorry.
Even
I'm sorry. I read
G1?
In the
IDW.
comics, he's one in the
Okay, but
comics.
it's colored.
Yeah.
He was so terrible in the comics. He committed so many war crimes that he's colored my opinion of him in every other franchise. I'll vote Ratchet.
I'm going Ratchet.
You bring back Ratchet? Why Ratchet?
I think because we have plenty of Datsuns and only one other van. Just to go there. But I mean, like, Prowl is fine. Ratchet served a real purpose.
Yes.
You know, and he did a lot. He brought people back to life.
Yep.
Mostly. He helped build the Dinobots. He was basically like second fiddle to Wheeljack's genius when it comes to building and fixing stuff.
But he was the asshole in the actual cartoon.
True. But that's why he's awesome. A doctor should be pretty.
I don't think Ratchet was a jerk in the cartoon.
He was totally a jerk in the cartoon. There were plenty of episodes where he was a jerk.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I have rose-colored glasses.
Maybe.
I find that my recollection of G1 is honestly not very good, especially when I was putting this.
I don't remember
together.
There were a lot of dad jokes.
Yeah, definitely.
There are a lot more like bad episodes than I'd like to like remember. I don't even remember like the really good ones, and then I watch some of them like, oh, this is terrible.
Yeah, Shoki mentioned Chris Latta before. There's this YouTube video circulating around of Chris Latta filling in for Cullen, like for voice acting, just to hold the place in the scene, and it's friggin' hilarious to hear Optimus Prime with a Brooklyn accent. It's amazing.
All right, so is anybody on right now? I gotta bring Solace back as well. Anybody on that is Team Prowl?
No.
Yeah, I'm on Team Prowl.
Oh.
Team Prowl. We got one Team Prowl. All right, I'm gonna get rid of Robot Show Team because we need to get Solace back. All right, Solace. Where are you at? Are you Team Prowl or Team Ratchet?
Listen. I have a different reason for this, and you might not like it at first, but somebody said that Prowl is a nothing burger in the show, and they're right. Out of all the season 1 Autobots, Prowl is by far the most forgettable. His like debut episode or like his focus episode is a Chip Chase episode, right? Like he literally serves no purpose. Like he is useless, right? However, Ratchet dying allows us to have first aid in the Ultimate Weapon, which is like a top tier episode.
Talk that talk.
Exactly. So I'm saying I would kill Ratchet instantly for that episode. Like without any hesitation, I would gun him down personally.
Young and came prepared, did his homework, guys.
Right?
Yeah.
That is definitely like one of the best, I think, character focuses we've seen. And like Ratchet has so much focus in the first 2 seasons that like you've already exhausted him at this point.
Right? That's good logic. Okay, well, I love that.
But you can also kill Prowl. Like I'm down for both. Like to be honest, because like
but this is this or that.
Expand the options. There are other people that died. It's like,
I know.
Wheeljack got offed, and we didn't even get to see Wheeljack die.
Yeah. Well, so funny you bring that up. So my vote is I would bring back Ratchet only because if we lost that scene where Prowl dies, where like the smoke comes out of his mouth, like on the thumbnail.
That's brutal. Yeah.
Why is it?
Yeah, your thing's not popping up.
This when you see this, like when I first saw that, I was like, "Holy F! They're not effing around!" Like he just dies from the inside. The light becomes goes dark in his eyes. That was an epic scene. So I would bring back Ratchet because his destiny is not. I mean, it's Ratchet, and you feel bad for him, but it's like, whatever the animation. But that scene where Prowl gets off, you're just like, dang, they went hard in this.
He was the first one to go.
Yeah.
He was the first one to go.
Oh, I thought it was.
I didn't realize they were really dying until you see the smoke come out of his mouth. It's like, oh, it's different. It's different.
And was it Ironhide that Megatron like he's like clawing at his leg?
Megatron
just blasts him.
That one too. That's why I didn't put Ironhide. I felt like a lot.
Actually, we need Ratchet because I forgot Ironhide was gone. So we need the Van Man. Sorry.
I mean, I'm just saying, if Ratchet had survived, the
first aid is also a van, though.
I was just about to say, first aid is a van.
But we already had Ratchet. We don't need another one.
Without first aid, you don't get Defensor.
How do you
And,
know?
like, without
it didn't happen.
first
You
aid,
don't know.
Defensor has no personality, right? Because none of the other protective bots
What
actually
what if
matter.
it was Ratchet instead?
He's
All
too
right, we're getting
old.
off track
Let him
here.
go.
All right. All right,
Ratchet for arm.
I want to be a really ornery.
Gonna be Ratchet.
All right, I closed the poll. So the vote. So this again, you're voting for whose death you want to retcon or bring back to life. They 56% say they want Ratchet back. They don't give a f about Prowl. So, well, I think I was on Team Ratchet there because I wanted to see Prowl die over and over.
Yes.
Oh, Sean Moore says Defensor sucks. Damn, he's just
Sean Moore, man, you're hitting me in my heart. Defensor was my favorite Autobot combiner.
All right, let's go to the next section. This is the new segment, and it's called Blind Rank. So, if you guys haven't done this before, like this on if you've got on like YouTube Shorts or TikTok or whatever, you guys must have seen this. But here are the rules. There are going to be 5. There's going to be a topic, and there's going to be 5 like related names or something like that I'm going to introduce one at a time, and each of the group here are going to have to blind rank them in order. So if we did like candies, so 5 candies, I'm going to start off with Jolly Ranchers. So each of you will have to put in a slot 1 through 5 where you would rank Jolly Ranchers, not knowing if I'm going to bring out M&M's next, and then we're going to keep going. So at the very end, you're going to have a list, and you're going to be locked in on your last one, wherever that slot is. So everyone get it? We're going to go one at a time.
Now I see why you told us to bring a pen and paper.
Yeah. I mean, we can do it.
I can't remember 5 things.
Easiest. So everyone here that's here, get on your little pens and papers. Write down 1 through 5. We're going to do 2 of these because I don't know how long it's going to be, so I only did 2. So 1 through 5, and you're going to start listing them. I'll start listing them out. All right. Robot Show Tunes, I know you're in the background, but just work on this, and we'll come around to you when we present. All right. First topic is going to be G1 episodes. I mean, kind of a no-brainer here. So we're going to do G1 episodes. So the first episode you're going to place in order, so number 1 being your favorite and number 5 being your least of these. What is the best G1 episode? All right. So the first one here, hopefully this works correctly. Heavy Metal War. Heavy Metal War. Where are you guys each ranking this in 1 through 5? While you guys do that, you know me, I'm prepared. I went ahead and went to the YouTube Hasbro Pulse and brought out all these facts about it, as well as a synopsis to help you guys out, because I know I don't remember all the episodes by name. So, Heavy Metal Wars, obviously G1, Season 1, Episode 14. This is the synopsis. The war gets more crowded with the sudden introduction of the Constructicons. However, rather than simply just providing raw numbers, they serve a greater purpose for Megatron. Their construction ingenuity ultimately gives Megatron every unique ability his team possesses. Of course, Optimus Prime is his primary target in official combat. Per the terms, the loser must take his team off Earth forever. Given Megatron's current power and the Autobots being kept in the dark about it, how can Optimus Prime possibly win this challenge? So if you guys remember, they all gave him his powers, and then they went.
I gotta correct something. Actually, the Hasbro playlist is out of order because I just watched this on the Hasbro playlist like 2 days ago. Heavy Metal War is episode 16. It's meant to be like the season finale.
Dang,
but
it is.
This guy putting us to shame.
All of season 1 is out of order. I don't know if season 2 is out of order because season 2 is
he's not
long.
Wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, season 2 is.
I think there's a different production order than an airing order.
All right. Yeah, you know what? Thanks for showing us all love. That's not the point.
I'm getting backstage so fast.
I will say this is one of 2 tapes I had growing up: was Heavy Metal War and SOS Dinobots. So I saw this more than any Transformers episode in history.
Did you guys see Double Dagger and Mang Motion did stop motion for that, like for the episode and the fight scene? Dude, it is fantastic.
That'd be awesome.
It is
Anthony Brown's
awesome.
left the scene, so I'm going to remove him, bring back Robot Show Tunes for a bit.
And I would like to say they all donated their power chip rectifiers.
Yeah,
right.
To do that. It's like, you must be proud of your power.
And then they like forgot that they all had superpowers in subsequent episodes.
Yeah, after that, oh yeah, no problem. We all have powers still. We can still fly, turn invisible, blow stuff up, whatever.
All right, so
into a tape.
everyone's got their heavy metal war slotted in their 1 to 5 position.
Sure.
All right. Next one up. Return of Optimus Prime Part 1. It's funny that Shoki said he had that episode Heavy Metal War on VHS. I had the Return of Optimus Prime, those 3 on VHS. I still have them. I think I brought them from my parents' house not that long ago. Actually, when we were cleaning out when my mom passed away the other month. But I remember this silhouette at the end of the episode, and it was just like, and then you hear his voice. What does he say? He says, "I'm back and I'm not leaving," or something. He says something like, "I'm not leaving again," or something like that. And this time I'll be here. I don't even remember, but.
Fine,
all right, while you guys cast their vote, let me go ahead and really quickly.
My toy is back in stock.
But that wasn't the one at the end of season 3, right? This was like the first time he came back.
No, I think the first one was Dark Awakening.
Dark Awakening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, this is the one at the end of
the
season
big
3.
This is like the My
issues
Toy
back.
actually got reissued episode.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is after the Hate Plague.
Yeah, the Hate Plague.
Yeah,
It's the Hate
okay.
Plague.
Yeah,
They
so
bring
this
him
is
back to
before the
combat Hate
rebirth.
Plague.
Yeah,
So
right before
season
Rebirth.
3, episode 29,
Yeah.
an embittered scientist and his partner decide that it's time to get rid themselves of every Transformer on Earth. Their plan is to use the lifeless body of Optimus Prime to lure the Autobots into his laboratory, where they release a dangerous plague from space that pits Autobot against Autobot. But soon, the Hate plague spreads to the Decepticons, the human race, and the entire universe as well. When Rodimus Prime falls victim to the plague as well, the galaxy's only hope is to restore Optimus Prime to life, hoping that he can save the Autobots and the galaxy. Like that synopsis in and of itself. The fact that this is like a 3-parter, already.
Is this the one where Cyclonus puts a dude through a wall and then says everybody's got to be somewhere?
I don't know, but that sounds awesome.
Dude, it's awesome. He puts this dude through the wall. The guy's like, you put me through the wall. He's like, listen, everyone's got to be somewhere.
All right. So
line.
everyone got their vote cast.
That Cyclonus episode's in season 3. It's the one where we meet Sandstorm for the first time.
Okay. It's all a blur for me, dude.
Well,
That's
that's
everyone good with their slotting.
Yep.
Fight or Flee. That's Fight or Flee, where Cyclonus puts him through a wall.
Such a great scene.
You guys have such a better memory than me. All right. The third one up is Fire in the Sky. The introduction of Skyfire. Everybody loves Skyfire.
The introduction and subsequent removal.
I owned this VHS tape growing up. I must have seen
Okay,
it like
everyone
30
has
times.
by the time we're done, we'll have all of season 1 in
Right.
VHS.
We all had one tape, but still couldn't complete all of season 1. Not enough
All right,
of
so
us.
season 1, episode 13. Megatron believes that the key to the Decepticon victory lies in the North Pole, but quite suddenly, not just via the new energy scheme, the brilliant frozen Skyfire awaits, and it turns out he's been there for millions of years. It also turns out that he and Starscream shared something of a friendship in the past, something that he hasn't forgotten. Now the Autobots face Skyfire, and the results aren't pretty. It seems that like Megatron's victory is assured, but the key to convincing Skyfire of the truth involves the captured Spike and Sparkplug.
Megatron used to just go off in random directions. There was like this changing gears where he just decides that gears is like the linchpin of his plan. Like, yeah, the secret of galactic conquest is in the North Pole. Sure.
There's no rhyme or logic to Megatron's scheme.
Which is why Peter Cullen was better.
Or like when they
Because
decide
Optimus
that, like,
Prime didn't just scheme.
the greatest source of energy in the universe were like rubies in Burma.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
And there were so many. All the rubies.
So weird, dude.
All right. Everyone good with their allotment?
Yep.
All right. So I think this is the fourth one, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
All right. So far, I feel like I've. So the trick is here, right? There's usually either a mix of good and bad episodes, but I've given you 3 quite good in my opinion episodes.
So here comes the bad one.
Yeah, so I'm curious what the lists are already because people are probably like F. But I'm not stopping. We're doing another good one. SOS Dinobots. Everybody loves Dinobots. So I'm you guys are probably like,
Pake's making this so easy for me.
You're such a douche here, Pake. All good episodes. Season 1, Episode 7. Tremors with the volcano headquarters of the Autobots expose a previously unknown chamber containing large fossils of dinosaur bones. Wheeljack and Ratchet, again, he's a key player, construct 3 Autobots that can transform into dinosaur modes, as well as being so super stupid for some reason. Meanwhile, the Decepticons, hoping to acquire a perpetual source of electrical power, take over the Great Waterfall System. Again, another magical source of energy. Yes. When the Dinobots are finished, their simple brains prove faulty, and the 3 creatures go berserk. Optimus Prime, considering them too dangerous, orders them shut down and sealed away forever. Which, if you think about it, that's pretty messed up, right? Optimus basically just like can put these things to death, right?
Well, what do you mean?
He doesn't even kill them; he just buries them.
It's off the show.
Well, he just said he orders them shut down. I mean, come on.
Well, also waste of resources. Like literally, we just spent all this time building these things. Don't tear them apart or anything. Just bury them in the wall.
Yeah, let's not try to fix their brains. Let's just
we go wrong.
The last of the synopsis is when the Autobots go to the falls to stop the Decepticons, they are ambushed. Wheeljack improves the Dinobots against orders, but will that be enough to rescue the Autobots and drive off the Decepticons?
I have an important show note, right?
All right.
You're pulling an Optimus Prime because every time me and Shoki go against you, you kick us off the show. So, I mean, Prime did that to the Dinobots.
Interesting.
Oh, what happened there?
Oh, that was savage, dude.
Finally, I get a duck on my head.
Oh, yes. I don't know what happened. Well, that was a technical difficulty. Anthony must have lost his internet. We'll be back after these messages.
I felt racially motivated.
Is that? I feel like more often than not that Anthony Brown comes in here with some racial agenda.
Yeah.
All right.
But I will say for this episode, I could be wrong, but I think it features my favorite animation error, and it's the all blue Optimus Prime when he's in the energy van in the water where they got everybody pinned down. And see, I never realized that was an animation thing. I just assumed he had been drained of energy and changed color. And then I find out later, no, it's a crappy studio, and they can't figure out Optimus is red half the time.
Yeah, but now you can buy Magna Convoy and say it's show accurate. So
that's a pro play here. All right, everyone good?
Yep.
We're going to the last one here. All right, the final one.
It's gonna be the
final episode in the G1 blind rating
on this.
Is Bot.
Oh, I screwed up my whole list.
There's only one acceptable spot.
This should have been number 1. Oh, man.
I left 1 and 5 blank because I was hoping you would pull out some random episode that I really liked because I was lukewarm on the other 3. So it was like 2 through 4.
Lukewarm?
I don't know.
Fire
in the Sky was not great for me. Heavy Metal War was like, okay, I guess. I mean, it happened. Return of Optimus Prime Part 1.
Okay, I guess.
I placed it number 2 just because of the smooth skit that came out of it.
I have a weird list.
And then SOS Dinobots, I put it number 1 because I knew 5 was going to be bad, but I was really hoping that Changing Gears would show up because you mentioned it because I love that episode.
Changing Gears.
I would have put Changing Gears number 1, like S tier.
I'm surprised Golden Lagoon wasn't in there.
I would have put Golden Lagoon.
Oh wait, we have another round actually. So who knows?
That's why it's tough. But the next one is not going to be about episodes. Just to let you know. All right. So we got to go through. Okay, everyone show off their list. Hopefully, they're not changing it in the background. Honor system here. Ridiculous stuff first. What do you have? So first,
you can't read my crappy handwriting. Yeah, I got Heavy Metal War number 1, SOS Dinobots number 2, Fire in the Sky 3, 4. I got Bot, and then 5 is Return of Optimus Prime. And honestly, that's exactly how I would have done it if you told me all 5.
Wow, really?
Yes. I'm so sorry, Pig, but yeah, Bot.
You're gone, bro. You're gone. Let's go.
Oh, that's weird. I miss Badger.
All right. Next up, let's go to Shoki.
I'm gonna go Heavy Metal War. and SOS Dinobots. They were my 2 tapes.
All right,
Of
but hey,
course
show
they're
us your list. Make sure you're not cheating here.
I'm not cheating. Well, you can't see it because the glare. Hold on, let me back it up a little bit. That's about as good as I can get without adjusting my lighting.
All right.
Yeah. SOS Dinobots at number 2, Return of Optimus Prime number 3, Fire in the Sky number 4, and Bot number 5.
Oh, that's
To be fair, I've seen the top 4 of those more times than I've seen Bot. So it's actually going by amount of return viewing realistically.
Well, that's respectable. That's respectable.
Yeah.
All right, Robot Show Tunes. I feel like had his head down. I feel like he's been changing his list. Like
No.
like, as a teacher, as a professor. If I was a professor at the front of the class saying, "Turn in your homework, turn in your test," and this guy's in the back here being like, "Fuck, I'm still not done." Show off your list. Where is it?
This list is so crappy. You'll know I'm not cheating.
That's a
All
second
right.
note card.
SOS
So it's
Dinobots,
SOS
Fire in the
Dinobots,
Sky,
Fire
Bot
in the
right in
Sky.
the middle. Oh man, you left the middle slot. I feel like that's a rookie mistake there.
He put
Return
Heavy
of
Metal War
Optimus
last.
Heavy Metal War last.
He's hurting me
Wow.
here. You hurt me. You cut me to
Heavy
the
Metal.
quick
That was
start.
the first one we picked, and you put that last.
Yes.
That's a rookie
I have
mistake.
a very different
Get him out.
set of episodes in my head, and they're
He-
so
He
dark
hates
horse.
Constructicons. He hates Constructicons.
Dude, that was such an awesome episode. And who starts a blind rating by putting one at the very extreme? I feel like that's the worst idea. Like putting it
Are you?
1 or 5, you're giving yourself no wiggle room here, man. All right, Shiro, you're up next.
All right. Can you see it? There we go.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, read
Okay.
it off though.
So, Fire in the Sky number 1, SOS Dinobots number 2, Return of Optimus Prime number 3, Heavy Metal War number 4, Bot number 5. And I will be honest, the first 3 are the only ones that I even kind of vaguely remember. I've never actually watched the whole show like all the way through. Only
Why
just,
are
like,
you
what
on
they
this
used to-
episode? Why did you volunteer for this?
They used to have a what do you call it? Like they would just run them at crazy times in the UK. It's like it was never
Yes.
on any regular time. So
There
there was a lot of them that
I
I
kind of
never
understand that,
actually saw.
except we have the internet now, and
Yeah,
they're
well,
all
yeah.
free.
I have them on DVD somewhere. So
All
It's
right,
probably
we need to remove him.
probably in a tub. Probably in a tub somewhere.
Wow.
All right.
Whoa.
You have to get him out the paint for that. Like that's an auto eject, right?
Yeah. He's
Okay.
probably gonna be in the back for a while.
So no pencil and paper, but I hope this counts. Yeah, I was desperate.
SOS.
So
Okay.
this was an accidental list. I put Heavy Metal War at 3 because it's where it belongs, but I just like didn't know. Like I just don't have a feeling about it either way. Like it's a G1 cartoon episode. Like it exists. Like I don't have I watched it and I'm like, okay.
All right. So are you happy with your list? It seems like you're happy with your list.
I mean, yeah, it's like a list of like it ended up the way I wanted it to, but if I had a choice, I would have put Return of Optimus Prime higher, just because I really like the smooth segment that spawned from that 3-parter, the one where he's like a cup becomes shit piece. I really like that. That's pretty great. So, but it's okay, I guess. Fire in the Sky could be interchangeable with the other 4. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
you're like
only thing-
all these
It's a
stuff.
list of 5 things in an order.
The only thing I'm certain about is
true.
that Bot is number 5. That episode is just poop. I mean, there's no other
Yeah.
word for it. It ends
All right.
so badly too. It's
Yeah.
really
So
creepy.
I think we only got Anthony left, right? Did we get
Right. So my list, wherever it is,
What the heck?
Heavy-
The smallest piece of paper available.
well, I didn't catch you needed a piece of paper until right when we
Oh.
started this exercise, so I grabbed the closest thing to me. I've got Heavy Metal War number 1, SOS Dinobots
Yeah.
number 2,
Yes.
Bot 3, Return of Prime 4,
Rough.
Fire in the Sky 5.
Oh,
So I didn't
started
know
out
what was
pretty
going to be
strong.
last, but Heavy Metal War like that gives you everything you want. A throwdown between Prime. The first time we see a combiner, then we get the Hound Mirage of the Giant Combiner. Then we get the Dinobots fighting the Constructicons. Like that episode is everything, and for that to be the end of the first season, like there's no finer way to put a bow on it. And then you see them knock the Decepticons into the lava. Like that episode was everything.
Yeah.
SOS Dinobots gives you the last 2 Dinobots. You get to see how big they are and monsters and how much the Decepticons fear them. Bot is trash. Like there's no way. If you told me Bot was part of season 3 post movie, I'd be like, yeah, it fits. It fits. The Return of Prime, the first episode of that, again, it gives you everything combiners fighting. They actually use the, better studio and got the higher quality animation. The Protectobots show up in it. All the other combiners show up in it. Fire in the Sky, that was probably going to be 5 for me either way, even though I don't like the Bot episode. Fire in the Sky just moved too slow for me, and so I've never been a fan of that episode.
Oh, interesting.
And Fire in the Sky ultimately goes nowhere, right?
Yeah, it doesn't really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically starts to end like every G1 episode where like basically
Status
doesn't
quo.
impact the next episode whatsoever. They're
Return to status quo.
Yeah, because every cartoon was like that because they were just trying to sell toys. They weren't trying to. You could jump in at any point.
And they knew that Jetfire was going to be a problem.
Yeah.
So they put him on ice.
It's like, no, you're going back in the ice, buddy. Sorry about that.
Legal says.
Yeah.
All right, we gotta move on. We're gonna go on to the next one. So we got one more of these blind ratings. So the next topic is G1 bots. So
Okay.
now it's gonna get a little bit more interesting. People are gonna have stronger opinions. So we'll get right into it. The first one up.
Oh, how many are we doing? 5.
We're five.
Just
That's why there's a number 1 through 5 here. Oh, sorry, I'm not showing it. That's my bad.
Yeah, you're not showing us anything. What are you
Like,
Sorry,
you guys
there
can't
we go.
That's
tell.
why there's a thing.
You can't see it.
All right, I can't put myself backstage. Well, I can, but
We just
all
want to
right. The first one is Hot Rod. So be very specific. We're talking about Hot Rod, the young upstart, not
This is hard.
Rodimus.
It's already hard, dude.
No, it's not.
Are we going to get into the classic debate here?
No.
No, dude.
We could devote a whole episode to that debate, whether or not. Yeah.
So is this Autobots only, or is this Autobots and Decepticons? Because that may.
Oh no, it's bots as in robots,
Autobot.
not
Okay.
Autobots.
Because
So
I'm like,
it's
this may.
potentially, you're telling me potentially Bot is in here?
Potentially.
So nice.
Leave that number 5 open, everybody.
This is difficult, dude.
Yeah.
There's only 75 characters to choose from.
This is already difficult.
All right, everyone good there?
Yeah.
No.
All right, let's swap some people out here. Let's see.
Give me Skylinks. Come on. Bring on Skylinks.
Triptychon. It's the second bot that you need to rank. See, I feel like everyone's confident until about like the third one, and then when fourth one comes out, you're like, oh.
Well, it's like playing tic-tac-toe. You're always great until the 4th move, and you're like, oh, now we have to work.
All right. I remember the Triptychon toy was one of the toys I had for the longest time. I loved it though. Walking, well, kind of walking, the shuffling kind of thing it did. All right, next up is Soundwave. So somebody in the chat said Soundwave. Oh yeah, Professor Soundwave obviously put Soundwave number 1. He knew he was coming. I had to bring him out because I've told many a times that Soundwave was the character that got me back into collecting. Was the one that I wanted for Christmas. The Transformers tape deck, and my mom got me Blaster, and I was forever crushed. All right. Everyone feeling good about their list so far?
Nope.
Terrific.
All right. Number 4 is Wheeljack, everybody's favorite scientist, right? Well,
now I'm not feeling good about my list. Oh, damn it. Well, thanks for having me on, Pig.
I really don't know how to play this game. Anyway.
All right, everyone good?
Mm,
This is gonna make or break me right now.
yeah, same. Yeah, I gotta do it. Okay, yeah.
All right, everyone good? All right, number 5. Ridiculous Thatcher call.
Called it.
Wow, I fumbled. I gambled the
called
house
it.
and I fumbled.
There
Where's
was
your
a
sound
reason
effects?
why it was called G1 bots and not just Transformers or Autobots.
I feel
Well,
so
I'm gonna
good
get-
about my list now.
I'm gonna get crucified.
I knew it. I knew he had something.
Yeah,
I was hoping
like,
for gears, man.
That's dirty pool.
That is dirty pool.
A dirty pool. I love that expression.
I felt it was obvious. Thank God.
All right.
No.
Who wants to go and show their work first?
Let me go first so I can sit out because they're gonna.
Yeah, I
boot
was
me
gonna say
immediately.
I'll see myself out after this one.
All right, so this was an accident. This wasn't supposed to happen. I really didn't think you would do it again, but you got me. So yeah, my brightness is bad, but
Just read it off to us then. We'll believe you.
starting from the bottom, number 5, Soundwave.
Oh no! What?
Okay, listen. I started with Hot Rod at 4 because I don't really feel anything towards G1 Hot Rod. I mean, it was in the movie, I guess, but I mostly am more attached to Rodimus because I like Bird and Hardest to Bear. Triptychon was easy for 3 because he's just cool, but I don't really have like a character attachment. And then Soundwave came around. I'm like, out of all the G1 Decepticons, like in season 1 especially, the one that stood out the least to me was Soundwave. Like Rumble was more of a standout to me than his deployer. Like I put him 5, but I didn't actually expect that. Like I thought the bad one would be like somebody like Huffer, who I really enjoy and like everybody hates, but it ended up being bought anyways. And Wheeljack wasn't easy too. But I was hoping it was Gears, bro.
Yeah.
I was 100% hoping it was Gears, and then it would be the perfect list. But then you just
Professor Soundwave is losing his mind in the chat right now.
yeah. Anyways, I'll see y'all later.
All right, we'll
Get this kid
see
out
you in
of
a bit. All right, let's see. Let's bring him out. All right, who wants to go next?
I'll go next. I fell for the hustle. So bot is 1.
Oh!
I told you I fell for the hustle. Bot is 1, Soundwave 2, Triptychon 3, Hot Rod 4, Wheeljack 5.
Wheeljack
So,
5. Ooh.
I feel like the middle is going to be the same for almost everybody.
Yeah.
I was thinking that like Sideswipe or Sunstreet, like someone else was going to show up, and it's like I could justify that person being number 1, but he's like, "Hey, bot." That's why I was like, "Is this Autobots only?" Because then,
narrows down the cast a bit.
I could have put Hot Rod 1 and gotten away with it, but
yeah.
He hit me.
I will say I feel like Anthony can argue anything. Like he can spin it so many ways. Like whenever he's on, he's so good about that. Like, and he just has like an encyclopedic memory that he can just rattle off stuff that I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't even know that shit.
Nice.
All right, well you got baited, so sucks to be you. All right, who's next?
I'll go next. All right, so we got Wheeljack at number 1 because I was paying attention. Got Soundwave at number 2 because my co-host Ricky would kill me otherwise. Triptychon number 3 because he's a big dinosaur robot who fights a big city robot for whatever reason. Hot Rod because and then bot at the bottom because once again I was paying attention.
That is a very respectable list.
Yeah.
That was my list. If I would have, the last 2 were Wheeljack and Bot, and I was like, I really would have put Wheeljack 1.
Yeah.
I'll go next because you have the list that I wanted, Shoki.
I mean, you could have it. It's right here.
Thanks, dude. The only difference is I had Hot Rod and Triptychon swapped, so I have Wheeljack, Soundwave, Hot Rod, Triptychon, then Bot.
Oh, Hot Rod over Triptychon.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to go to bed at night knowing that you put Hot Rod over Triptychon. I'm just gonna
start rubbing it in.
I mean, why would you go 3 first? I mean, that's kind of limiting your options.
I did not feel good about it at the time, but then he went on to the next one. That's the only reason why he landed at 3 and not 4. I felt bad immediately.
All right, Shiro, you're up.
Okay. So I got Soundwave at number 1 because when the time you said it, I thought, well, he's by far the coolest out of all the ones that you've said. Wheeljack, I like Wheeljack. Bot because, well, you got me. Hot Rod because I don't know. I mean, he's okay. And Triptychon was right below him because I have less of attachment to Triptychon, I guess. But yeah, you got me with Bot. Well done. Thanks a lot.
Have you even seen these episodes?
I have not seen
Oh
any
my-
with Triptychon in it. I will be honest.
This is rough, dude.
All right,
I'm a comic guy.
we're gonna bring back Solid
You
for a
said
bit.
Bod is okay. I just
Listen,
want
I said it in the private chat. Sorry to interrupt, but Anthony, you were just like me, bro. We both fell for the hustle, and I'm telling you, like if I had known you pull it again, I would have put Soundwave 1, just for being political. I guess like being like the consensus, but you got me. And
No, you need to play to your own music, man.
Yeah.
You love Bot. It's all good. We respect it.
I'm a Bot
All right.
lover.
Gross.
We won't disclose that to the authorities. All right, Robot. Did we already go with you?
No.
All right. Let's see the list. Robot, you hear us?
Uh-oh.
Oh,
There he is.
Robot, you with us?
I can see him moving.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry. Can
Yeah,
you
we're
hear me?
talking. Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. We're waiting for your list.
I got with issues.
Oh,
All right. I think he's just embarrassed because he's also a Bot lover.
Yes, I am. Hold on. Where are you?
Oh yes,
Over there.
Oh,
Is that my list but flip? Oh, I think it is.
dude.
Soundwave, Hot Rod,
Yeah.
Triptychon, Wheeljack last. Wow.
It's
Yeah.
everyone was waiting
glowing
for
ears are
a
so
good
weird.
last.
You had to decide to put Wheeljack at the bottom. That was a decision you made.
I wanted Huffer to be last, man. I was hoping it to be Huffer.
Yeah, I was thinking about putting Gears. I was gonna actually put Wheelie last before I decided on Bot, but I thought just bringing Bot back a second time would just be funnier. So
Well done, sir.
All right. Well, that was our new segment, Blind Rank. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, we had a lot of folks here, so it made it a little bit more interesting. But we're going to go on back to some of our regular content. I want to try to wrap up before the bottom of the hour. So let's get back to the presentation. Thanks, everyone, for having fun with that. This is one that's a little bit harder for us to do with the audience, but I thought it would be really fun to do. So we'll probably keep doing that in the future. All right. Next one is the one I always like to bring back just because I think it's the one that gets the debates going the most. So it is Hot Take. And it seems like we got a lot of hot takes here already. Like some people have to justify their love for Bot at number 1. But this is a segment where we just open the floor. Anything about the topic that you think you have a hot take on, like, very generically, cartoons don't age well. So if you had a hot take that you wanted to say, like G1 Transformers was trash, we all have it just from a nostalgia point, but not actually going back and watching it is not very good. It's just a commercial to sell toys. This is your platform to say that kind of stuff. And we'll just have to listen to you for a little bit. I'm going to put a timer on folks this time, but this is your opportunity. So I know folks like, I know I can already see Solace has something that he wants to talk about. He just has a hot take. Anthony Brown always has some hot takes. So really going to open it up to anyone here that wants to share a hot take that they have on G1 Show.
Hot take. It was not appropriate to have Rodimus Prime with all of his depression on a kid's show.
Yeah.
This was the 80s. It's before now and the whole PC thing and all the sensitivity
I know,
and
but
stuff like that.
Not appropriate.
He bummed out a lot of kids.
He thought Char was like a smudge on his screen. He was like, that line is delivered so flat. Oh, I thought that was a smudge on my screen.
Fight or Flee. That's the episode with Paradron, right? Where he's like,
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Now blow it up. Right? Like he just commits like planetary basically destruction. Which is like
Carbomia. was another one, right?
I think the end of Fight or Flee might be considered a war crime because he forcibly relocates an entire population of people in a military maneuver. I think it's like a war crime. I think it might be a war crime.
Yeah, I mean the Carbomia one definitely was another one that I was thinking about. Like, how can I fit that in this one? Because isn't that why Casey Kasem decided to leave the show? Because he
It is. But he's in the movie, which doesn't make sense. But maybe they shot the movie before they did that.
That's why.
Or they just paid him a lot more than they paid him.
He
for
was
the show.
done. He was done when Carbomia came out.
What's Carbomia again?
So it's
the
the Arab nation.
Well, it's worse than just like the name of the nation, right? The whole thing is a giant Libya parody. So it's like at the time it's also very politically insensitive, I think.
Yeah.
It's
Very insensitive. Very insensitive. Yeah. So, you can take your depressed hot rod. I think Carbomia probably takes the cake on that one. All right, any other come on, there has to be some other hot takes. Someone defending Hot Rod in the movie or something like that? Not anyone?
No.
I think Hot Rod was a great character at the beginning of the movie, and then once he gets Prime killed, it's like, okay, bro, I can't support you. But the way he comes in, like they're sitting there fishing, then he transforms and like all that stuff. The way he shoots down the Decepticon jet, like if it's not for him, then the Decepticons land and then they just wreak havoc on everything. So like he like helped turn the tide, but then obviously with Prime, this is grown folks' business. Sit your young ass down and be quiet, right? Like that's what
turn the tide.
Like that's what that was supposed to be.
No, I think that's fair. I mean, I also one of the things I did really enjoy about Hot Rod as a character was when he turned back into Hot Rod. That was, I thought, also kind of interesting to get him to. It almost feels like, because at that time you think about like kids turning into adults like too early, like he was given responsibility too early and then never allowed to be, a rebellious teenager or childhood, and then he gets to live that and he's like, yeah, I don't want responsibility. F that noise. I'm just gonna go have fun again. Like he doesn't want to be Prime anymore, but then like coming back and living up and growing into that. I thought that was kind of a cool story arc as well. Sean Moore has a hot take, says Skylinks was the best developed new season 3 Autobot.
That's a cold take. Everywhere I go, people are loving on Skylinks. Like he's one of the most memorable Autobots from all of season 3. I think like his character arc is like so popular that it's become like a self-sustaining gag now. Like you can't mention Skylinks without like it getting brought up. Like I remember people being legitimately mad with what the Netflix did with Skylinks because he was so different from like they turned him from Skylinks into some type of astral guide for Optimus Prime's character arc in Netflix, and a lot of people did not like that.
But
so
is Skylinks' personality? What is that exactly? Is that a combination of both of their personalities, or is he Skylinks in both of the parts of him? Like
I don't even know if he's sentient when he's like in his beast mode.
It's not clear.
Is he a triple changer?
I always
or
felt
is he
like the Lion.
robots?
I always felt like the Lynx was like the secondary character.
No, but does he have any lines when he's split? I don't think he ever speaks.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But it's always the eagle, isn't it? It's never or the eagle. The Lynx talks?
No, like I think in the Return of the Prime, like the Lynx talks, doesn't he?
I thought so.
He talks like the eagle.
Okay, but is it the same person talking through two faces?
Yeah.
I don't get it with the whole. It's like Skytread, right?
All right. Imagine he's like Battle Trap, like a G1 Battle Trap, right?
What's
but like
Battle Trap?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I've never seen the beta stuff, dude.
No, I mean like he's a G1 toy, like he's a Duocon. Like there's like two of them, and you slap them on top of each other.
Yeah, he's a Duocon kind of. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I just feel like Skylinks is so popular. Like I don't think that's like I think that like qualifies as most as like a lukewarm take. Like calling him the best is like okay, maybe like over like Rodimus.
Hot take. Skylinks is a great character.
Here's a hot take.
Yeah.
Primax says Prime's death was inevitable with or without Hot Rod's help.
Really?
Yeah. Well, that was a Hasbro decision.
The toy was
I feel like
so, yeah.
it was inevitable because of toy sales. So yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, if you leave out that concept and just make it a movie, yeah. But no, you just
Oh, Anthony Brown has a hot take. So, who wants to volunteer to jump out unless somebody has a hot take?
Bump me.
All right. Anthony Brown, what?
All right, so let's clean up this Skylink stuff. So the Lynx does talk in the Chaos episode. So, and they are two separate like entities from each other, and both of them do talk separately from each other. They even talk separately in Call of the Primitives. So,
Oh yeah,
Skylynx is two separate beings, but yes, they are kind of like duocons. When they combine, it's usually the Lynx personality that takes over. In the cartoons. Also in the Return of Optimus Prime, the Lynx talks by himself. He actually talks to Prime and explains to him what's going on.
Yeah, that's
right. Yeah,
in the episode. So,
so it's
as
not
far as hot takes go, I think that they should have kept Ultra Magnus dead in the cartoon, so that when he got the Matrix and he got blown to bits, then that death would have felt more permanent, because up until that point, everyone who got blown apart stayed dead, but for whatever reason, he got brought back.
Yeah, so, that was just random. Like his death was like a total dismemberment too. It's not like
he didn't get blown up.
The theory there is that
it wasn't a flesh wound, as they put it. You know,
you see he blows up, like his armor parts are falling off, like his limbs are like separated, and like his helmet is fallen off. Like I think the theory there is that Inner White Prime was always too inaccurate. You just don't see him in the Junkion Rubble. Like his armor got blown off, but the actual guy, the Minimus Ambus / Inner White Prime, was actually there. That's how you can cope with it. To like
we all have
your head canon, maybe
we all have an Inner White Prime. That's what it is.
Ridiculous suit. He said, "Boo this man." I don't know which one.
Boo.
That's crazy.
That's
for what?
Yeah, I had a hot take, and then y'all got me distracted.
Oh, Showtunes has one.
Yep.
Oh,
maybe not so much a hot take as something that nobody really thinks of at all. The Sea Change episode with Sea Spray. I always thought that was very romantic.
I guess. I mean, if romance is turning your girlfriend into
it's kind of a wet take. little moist. It's a moist take.
It was very sweet.
Yeah, I always thought the weird,
even now as an adult,
two close relationships that the Autobots had with certain human females was just like, what's going on here? Like,
they're bot lovers.
Yeah, like Power Glide. Come on, I mean.
Okay, hot take. Power Glide 2-timing Moonracer like immediately after she's introduced is peak fiction. That's peak fiction. It matches his personality so well. Like, it's literally peak fiction in my opinion. I mean, the episode itself is questionable, and it's kind of crazy like how they wrote that episode. But the fact that like you have this character who's arrogant, like literally narrates himself doing things, like he's some type of media personality. Like there's a line where Bumblebee's like, "I wish you could save me without turning it into a commercial," right? Like, I just think the idea of a character like that who's so full of himself, like immediately forgetting about the people in his life, is like right on the money on how Power Glide should be written. But yeah, I don't support 2-timing. I'm just saying.
Those were some good ones. What about my hot take is I don't know that. I know, like, obviously from the movie, Megatron died. I don't know if it's a hot take, but I definitely preferred Megatron. Like, and I thought it was interesting that in Netflix they don't seem to be the same character. Like, right?
Yeah,
so,
they're going with the comics where they're not the
like
same.
IDW.
Yeah. So, but in any case, I'm definitely pro Megatron. I think if they had introduced Galvatron as a separate antagonist, I think I would have been okay with that. I actually would have liked to see more power struggle. Like, I think that was one of the things that I found more interesting with some of the other series, where, like, you know, with Shockwave in particular being more of a rival to Megatron, and how those powers were unseated and rearranged and stuff like that. I think it would have been cool if they did something like that with Galvatron instead of just him being a supposed upgraded.
He's got a ghost over there.
Yeah, God hates that opinion. Apparently,
Ghost of Starscream is coming in.
So Marvel Galvatron is like a different Megatron from a different universe upgraded, right? But then IDW Galvatron is just an ancient Transformer who's RC's brother. So like,
How do you know that?
I didn't know he was
Uh,
RC's brother.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
Yeah.
in one of the origin episodes.
I guess I haven't gotten that far.
so I guess like I can see the point there, and like I definitely think that like cartoon Shockwave has to be one of the most disappointing characters of all time. As someone who went in already knowing about IDW Shockwave and Marvel Shockwave and literally every other Shockwave ever, you just go in and it's this one guy, and his most iconic moment in the entire show is that Twitter meme where he points to the screen and says "females." Like it's literally the only thing
True.
people remember about cartoon Shockwave is that he's a misogynist. So like. I
because he was living on the planet with them the whole time and didn't know.
Incel.
He also had the Rainmakers, like, you know, like, don't you hate like Acid Storm instead? Like, I mean, I don't know, man. It's just so boring. He's so disappointing.
I don't know why. I always love
He's a
Shockwave just for his
librarian. He's a
design.
custodian. Like,
I like heavy duty scientist version. I like the aligned continuity version of Shockwave. better.
so my thing with Galvatron is they made him too one note in the movie, or I mean post movie, right? Like he's unhinged, and I think at some point, like in the Web World episode, when they tried to fix him, I'm like, if that would have worked and it would have tuned him up just a little bit to make him just kind of more rational, I think that's part of the failings of season 4. It's not just that they moved off Earth and went like ultra into space. Like no one cared about Galvatron because Galvatron didn't do much of anything that was compelling. When you talk about like the best episodes of season 4 or 3 and 4 and all that other stuff, you talk about Call of the Primitives, and stuff that doesn't even pertain to Galvatron per se. And so like they made it was Optimus and Megatron, then it turned into Rodimus and Galvatron, but Galvatron wasn't a character that anyone cared about. I think that if they would have made even Galvatron more compelling, people wouldn't care. I mean, people wouldn't feel the way they feel about season 3.
I like this opinion from Carlos Hernandez. Hot take: G1 Megatron comes back with a tank mode instead of a gun. I always didn't. That never made sense to me that Megatron turned into a handgun and kind of be wielded by somebody else. Like you're a leader, you can't do stuff unless somebody's holding you and pulling your trigger. Like
I mean, it would be okay if there was a table for him to sit on, maybe, or something like that. You know,
it's kind of true. Yeah. Oh yeah. Fair point. Megatron was the first target master. Realistically, yeah.
The one thing that I will say that taking it away from USG1, I like Six Shot, but I think he gets like I think he was basically designed to be cool, but I don't know if they use that interesting. I mean, I feel like they tried too hard to make him cool. They're like, he's a ninja and he has all these different forms, so you have to think he's awesome.
But you had to buy the toy though. Like he's a commercial. Like he literally shows up, does all 6 modes, and then never shows up again in USG1.
Does he shows up in Six Shot shows up in USG1?
Yeah, he shows up in one episode.
Yeah, I think
one episode. He has one appearance, gets all 6 of his modes down, and then never shows up again.
He beats all the aerial bots.
That's
yeah.
I only remember
it's in Rebirth. I think it's Rebirth episode 2 that he shows up and beats all the aerial bots, and then he's in the second. So he's in episode 2 and episode 3, but in episode 3 he's just hanging out in the background being menacing.
Fair point. Yeah, I mean, I think he gets a lot more love because of the Japanese series, which again he does have a little bit more, but I feel like they just designed it to be like the coolest figure. Like, how are you not gonna like a ninja bot that has 7 modes, which is like 4 more than any other robot had ever had? Like they went like way over the top with him.
Well, they had the name and then had to come up with something. Like
well,
Six Shot would be great, but we can't do guns.
They didn't call him 7 Shot.
Oh, yeah. I have a not necessarily hot take, but definitely just it's more of a broader opinion, I would think. But I think that realistically, the Cybertronians got dumber over the show because in season 1, they clearly created the Dinobots from scratch, all 5 from scratch, no problem. And they also created the Constructicons, all from scratch. if you go by season 1, that they didn't pre-exist already on Cybertron, blah blah. But then later they have all these difficult methods to recreate new teams or new other bots, especially like the aerial bots or the other combiners along the way, where either they just showed up or we have a whole episode dedicated to creating them. Like when Grimlock becomes a genius, it's like you guys, Ratchet and Wheeljack literally assembled Dinobots from scratch from an idea that they caught from random bones in the ground. And you're telling me you need this mythological thing hidden somewhere on Cybertron to zap some airplanes you stole to basically make them into something? They're like, no, we had this figured out a long time ago. You guys are full of crap.
You know what pisses me off about that episode where they make the Dinobots? Huffer like yells at Wheeljack. He's like, "Dinobots? I thought you were supposed to make dinosaurs." And like he puts the emphasis on the wrong syllable, and it took me like 20 years to realize like he just screwed it up. You know?
No, I love that. I love that so much about that. I also feel like there may or may not. Maybe this is just me and my rose-colored glasses for the earlier seasons, but I feel like there was more sass early on.
Yes, there was.
It's like way more sass early on, and then they just like, no, we just got to get funnier sounding people. we can't have different attitudes. We just got to have a funnier accent today.
Give Grimlock that helmet again, because make some more combiners, please.
Just more of them. Just more of them.
So this is kind of a sad story, but this is something that sticks with me. The last episode I remember watching on TV, it like airing on TV, was Starscream's Ghost. And I have like a sad tie to that because that was the last episode I watched when my parents got divorced. And so I was watching that episode as a child when my dad came home and told my mom he wanted to get a divorce. And so I like, anytime I watch that episode, Starscream's Ghost, with Octane and running around and everything else, and him fighting the Combaticons, I always start to like automatic. It's just an automatic response that I start crying because I remember sitting in front of the TV as a child watching it, and then that was like the last time my parents were married. So,
damn.
Yeah, it's like a Pavlovian response, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you win the hot takes.
Yeah, and then also,
how was that a hot take?
And you mentioned the Combaticons. Starscream just created the Combaticons in a jungle. It's like, need the big glowy sphere. We gotta get all this other crap.
Well, he had to liberate their personality components from the Cybertron prison colony.
Okay, but Blastoff.
But once again,
Blastoff is made from like a Spitfire fighter, and he morphs into a space shuttle. It's really weird.
That's actually that's true. Completely changes because his personality chip was literally a spaceship.
Why did they make those decisions though? They could have just had it be a space shuttle that became a space shuttle.
Well, they were used in the World Wars, so that's what they were saying. Like,
yeah,
we were kids, though. You know what I mean? Like, they did. Like, someone stopped and was like, "Wait a minute, guys. Okay."
Well, I also don't think that they would think that 35, 40 years later, people will be looking back on it with a critical eye, like we're doing right now.
Yeah, like
I feel like the instant you have a space shuttle toy the size of a Jeep toy, you realize that all reality is out the window already.
Yeah,
just put it in. The kids won't notice.
Exactly.
I don't think I even noticed as a kid.
Here's a really quick, interesting from Sean Moore. He says, "Hot take: Bumblebee deserved the Matrix over Hot Rod." I mean, we basically see him take on a leadership role in a lot of series, like Prime and so forth.
What would his name be? Bumblebee's Prime? Like,
yes, that is
Stinger Prime probably would make more sense.
What about Prime B? Prime B.
Optibum Prime.
Optibum. Beetle Prime.
Yeah.
BW Prime.
In like IDW, he becomes the leader for a while, and I gotta say, he becomes a whiny little bee. Really, Hot Rod would have been better.
I don't know. I think we think of Bumblebee as like more now as his right hand man, but I feel like more he was not in G1. He wasn't really a right hand man. He was just this like little buddy.
He was the kid. He was the kid. He was the young one. He was the us. That's why he and Spike were teamed together. Hey, let's put the teenage kids together while the adults go out and fight war.
But it's funny how they portray some of them as kids when they're all like millions and millions of years old.
That's
It's
true.
all mental. It's all mental.
It's all relative, right? Well, I just took out Solace, but relatively he's young, but he's not a kid, right?
Yeah, you got rid of our Bumblebee.
Yeah. So he's laughing in the background. I'm not going to bring him back.
It's okay. We'll resurrect him. That's just what we always do now, right?
Yeah, he'll be Gold B. All right. A Gold Bug. All right, so that's it for Hot Take. That's our last major segment because we are getting to the bottom of the hour, but there are some regulars that I do at the end. Let me go ahead and bring these up. I always like to highlight some of the comments I've gotten over the last month. And since we skipped August because I was on vacation, I do have more than usual, but I'll try to go through these very quickly. So I go through the comments that happened in the last month and pick out my favorites. And then usually I respond to almost all my comments. If it warrants some kind of response. Some of them are just like, great review. So I just give those a thumbs up. But so I've doubled them. So I have 6 comments, I think, this time. All right, the first one is from Keck23K. Oh gosh, not seen Boris in a video in a long time. And I said, yep, I gave him and Alex a hard time for putting out less videos than me, which is hard to do. I don't put that many videos out, but this was from visiting Vancouver and their second location, their showroom and warehouse location. So if you're ever in the British Columbia area near Vancouver, check that out. It's a really cool location, and the showroom is really cool itself. All right, the next comment I had was from Brian Swanson, commenting on the Jeopardy. So we do have season 2 Jeopardy going on. I have episode 2 that I'm going to try to get done. Probably not next week because I'm going to be out of town, but probably the week after that. But Community Jeopardy is my favorite Transformer-related regular show. I don't know what regular show really means, but on YouTube, another great episode. So I highlighted this one because these Chatterdays and the Jeopardies that we do, they're really open to anyone. I don't discriminate. Just if you want to be part of it, join the Discord that's linked below. That's
Unless
the whole
you're
point. The whole what's that? I missed it. What? I missed it. All right. Well,
I said unless you're black.
you've been on here more than almost any other person, I think, at this point.
Wait 7 minutes.
Or no jack shit about the cartoon.
Yeah, I mean, I might put you in the back room for being a minority, but I'm not going to keep you from coming on the show. But like I said, if you have any interest, just join the Discord. Ask to be added to the Chatterday channel, and then you can be a participant. We're still looking for volunteers for episode 2. I think Ridiculous. I think you volunteered to be one of the contestants. And then Brian, I pointed this one out because it says, "Thanks, man. I might take you up on that someday, but I get my butt kicked." And to scroll down to my response, I said, "Hey, at least you won't be worse than the true star screamer, the 2-time loser. Don't be shy about losing." So I don't know if Dave's still on here. I told you at the very beginning, he says, "In for a punch or a pie." And I said, there's definitely a punchline for you. So I don't know if Dave's still there, but that one's for you, Dave. You're never going to live that down. I think every single Chatterday I've made fun of him for that. So let me bring in Solace real quick just to rotate around. All right. Next comment was from the Gears, which Fans Toys video, my live streams, because I usually tend to get them early. They're the ones that get the most comments and most views and the most interesting comments typically. So Israel, who is a channel regular, he says, "Man, I fell asleep at 8, missed it live, waiting on mine's great work." And I said, well, better than T-Man, because he literally fell asleep during my stream. He was in the beginning, and then the next morning he said, "Oh, I fell asleep before we even got the transformation." We were on TM Reviews live stream before that, and at the end of that, he was already laying down, so we knew he wasn't going to make it. All right, what other ones do we have? Oh, this one I called out because you do get some negative ones every once in a while. This one I thought was really annoying, though. So Primus 69.9. That's how I mean, it might be 6.99, but I just see it as 69.9 for some reason. You're entitled to your opinion about paintwork, but if you was an 80s collector like myself, you wouldn't care about paintwork. you just a picky person, and like all you reviewers, you expect perfection. And I say to you, if you want perfection, go design your own if you can. So there was a lot of things that I found
Hot
wrong
take.
with his logic here. First of all, he says not well. I am an '80s kid. I was born in '82. So and not all reviewers have the same opinion or have the same expectations. What is that? I said, why can't you have your opinion and I'll have mine? Why do people feel like they need to judge someone else's opinions like theirs don't matter? Also, broadly, why say reviewers are all have the same opinion? I don't know. This guy's logic makes no sense. And then John Gavin came up later, said you tell someone they're entitled to their opinion, then you bitch and whine at them like an elitist for having one. So wanted to point it out. Grow up, Primus. I don't know if you're watching. You're probably not. I probably should have banned you, but yeah. Just wanted to put your tomfoolery out in front of everyone.
Isn't the whole point of a review to give a detailed look at the actual toy? Is that the whole point?
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
It's also the reviewer's opinion, right?
but you're supposed to give the opinion of the person who wants it the most.
Oh.
But if they hate it, you have to give that opinion before you know they have that one. You have to be able to predict the opinion of the person who's going to leave the worst comment and then do your review accordingly. That's how you review things.
Yeah,
Why is this man watching a live stream when it's the longest form of a review just to like say that he hated like that's such a normal part of a review to comment on the deco, right?
Yeah. And also, how dare you be picky?
Well,
How
Hey,
I also like the,
$130
how dare
for
you
a Fans
accept
Toys
it?
figure.
Accept what you get and praise it.
I also like the opinion. I also like to take notice of the fact that he says you can't. Basically, he's saying you can't have an opinion, a negative opinion about something unless you can design your own. Like, really?
Yeah,
You can't have an opinion about something that you own and use, and can't say anything negative about it unless, like, I can't have a negative opinion about my phone because I can't design and make one up for myself.
But-
like,
This is
how
a
is-
negative opinion about a YouTube channel.
but
How big
I-
is this guy's channel?
Yeah.
Well, I don't care if it's
I do
channel
I
thing.
reply with that often. Be like, oh, let me go look at your channel. Well, okay. But I will say I can't wait to see the absolutely perfected pipes that Pake's gonna make. Because apparently
That's true.
because realistically, this guy has already said that Pake can make a perfect version. He already gave you the confidence.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So go if you expect perfection, go do it. Because you have the power, and I can't wait to see perfect pipes.
I know.
Edition.
I'll let you guys know when that.
What
comes
was the
back.
problem? The color of like the silver?
Well, no, so my opinion was like, the silver, the champagne silver,
Yeah.
it's kind of annoying. It's not. I even said it's not a big deal, but I just don't understand the choice there. Maybe just to break up somebody's shelf so that you don't have all your Fans Toys figures all looking with the same silver. But I was like, whatever.
I think
In
that's
any
a
case-
popular opinion, though. I think many people have said that. Exactly what you said.
Yeah, but they can design their own, so
okay,
they can have that opinion.
So this is one of the things that annoys me, because I think people assume that whenever people are doing reviews, we're supposed to be cheerleaders for whatever it is that we're reviewing.
Yes.
So when we review Marvel movies or comic books on the podcast, people get mad when we say that we don't like it, or the different things that I'm going to say whelmed by. Everyone's overwhelmed or underwhelmed. Sometimes you're just whelmed, by certain aspects of things. And I'm like, look, I can't go in. I go in trying to be objective of it, but then if something just sticks out and you don't like it, then you don't like it. Maybe it caught me at the wrong time, and on a rewatch or on a reread or on a second chance to try to transform it, then I'll feel differently. But when you do these live reviews, you're in the moment, and in the moment, that's how you feel. Someone mentioned earlier that there was a couple of episodes of Transformers that they didn't like the first go around, and they rewatched them and they were like, it grew on me. So I think sometimes when you're there and it's like, hey, I read through this, especially with what you do with these live streams on Fan Toys stuff, you get it, and then you do a review 2 hours later, however many hours later after you get it. So you kind of rush to figure out what you're doing so that you can transform it back, and get through the process, and then put something up for the millions of people who come back and watch these things. And
I
then
wish
they
it was
get mad at you because it's like, oh, you didn't transform that right. Like, what the hell?
And
Just
millions.
go kick rocks.
I think an issue is also the sports team nature of toy discussion now, especially for third party, where a lot of people tend to fall into these camps where they automatically assume that like criticism of a figure is parroting some agenda that like about some company, and it's just like it's a toy, man. I can feel however I want about a toy without having any acknowledgement of who made it. I think like because some people come in combative already, they automatically assume that if you say like one negative comment, you're on the other side, and they need to respond to you appropriately. And it's just weird. I think I see it a lot on the TFW. Like some people are like very firmly or like explicitly like they'll put themselves in a camp and they'll call myself like I'm in this camp. And it's like, okay, man, but then it's like automatically like everything you say from there on is like influenced by that, and then like you keep that bias. Like, what's the point of listening to you? Like, you just devalue your own opinion by like putting yourself on one side. Like, just like look at a toy and like play with it. I don't know. Like, you don't have to like defend it just because it's made by the people whose toys you like.
And I always try to do that, right? Like, I always try to take it in a vacuum and say, if this figure was released by another company, would I feel the exact same way? To try to kind of level set my expectations. Like, if somebody gave this to me and I didn't know who made it, like, would I be happy with it? I always try to do that in coming up with my final thoughts on things. And I think a lot of people should do that, right? Like, again, just take the figure, as Sala says, for what it is, and try to ignore all the additional baggage and like history there, or loyalty that you feel like you owe these companies. But in any case, we're going off on a tangent, but wanted to highlight this because I usually only highlight positive ones, but sometimes you got to call out the haters too.
All
right.
Yeah, it is more fun.
Marvin said on Gears, imagine a single hip skirt, not hip skirt, in this day and age. Shakes my head. And I said, as this is the most egregious thing they've ever done, one of their jet skis can't even turn their waist to the left. Like,
That's right. It only turns the one way.
And people still defend that figure. So
yeah,
it's a good-looking figure. It can only look to the right.
Well,
I gotta say,
turn it
it's
like
a
270
statement.
degrees, so it gives the illusion that it's turning left.
I loved how it looked, but as soon as I did, I was like, I can't. No, I'm sorry.
All right, I hope I don't get any hate for this because I'm not the target demographic. I only own one Fans Toys figure, and I bought it to put with my Legends collection. It's the Toy Astro Train. But this is also a tangent. I really don't get how Fans Toys just consistently gets away with, like, I guess, dated articulation and posability. Like, I'm out here like disappointed in like some companies at smaller scales. Like, why doesn't my 2-inch tall hound have 45 or 90 degree ankle pivot, right? Like, I passed on New Age Hound because his ankles are on ball joints instead of whatever. It doesn't matter. My point is, like, I'm holding Astro Train in hand and like he feels great, he looks great, but it's like, damn, like this is like a Hasui era MP10 level posability here. Like, I mean, different strokes for different folks, but I just
I mean, again, people value things differently. Like, a lot of people just say like, I don't need to pose them. I just need to have them look good on the shelf, feel solid, and they do have, if those are your check boxes, that's great. I mean, but again, taking it into vacuum, if we had gotten that from any other company, I feel like those same people would have been like, MMC released a figure that can't turn fucking left. It's the worst third-party company ever, right? But because it's Fans Toys, they're like, oh no, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, who cares? Like, that's no big deal.
Never turn to the left in real life.
Well, can we pause for a minute? Like, I think that we need to get some donations. We need to start a witness protection program. Solace, you said the stuff about Fans Toys. The mafia is real. They will come for you. This video is going to hit the private. They have a private Facebook group that you have to be invited to. Like,
yeah,
it's called like the Real Fans Toys group, something like that, right?
I'll get you some holy water, like something, but you need a pretender shell.
And you got a lot longer to live than us, theoretically, so you should be more careful.
Not anymore.
Guys, he's not like 15,
Listen. It's funny because I come into these circles and it feels like I'm a critic, but then I go into other circles where like it's a strong distaste for fans toys, and I feel like I'm a fans toys defender out of nowhere. It's really weird. It's like really weird, like the different guidelines people have on different things in different circles.
Why is it so polarizing?
I don't know.
Let me give you some advice from a everyone considers me a fans toys hater, which I don't understand because I have a lot of fans toys and I've said very good things about a lot of fans toys. I've also just kept it real and said when some of them are just terrible or shit, in my opinion. But you're probably never gonna live this down. Like the internet's forever, so they're gonna be like, Solace is a fans toys hater just from this one comment you made about this one figure.
Yeah.
So
it's over for my blossoming internet career of one follower.
Well, you never know. Yeah. Maybe they'll do a background check when you get like a security clearance, and they're like, nope, he's not a fans toys fan. He can't get a top secret clearance. All right, I think this is the last comment I have. So from fans toys here, here's I said I hate root beer. That was my hot take. It said root beer is good. Eat my sweet ass. Good review, by the way. Alex is a pretty fairly regular. So I responded, I assume you've tasted your own ass. How else would you know that it is sweet? That's probably why you enjoy root beer.
You thumbs up it and loved it.
Well, because again, I was clearly, he's joking. I'm joking as well, but I saw that one today and I responded right away. So he knows his ass is sweet. That's why he likes root beer. That's you have that kind of taste bud. So, and again, I'll put it out there again. I've said it on my Discord as well. If you're in there, if you like root beer, you can see yourself out, and I won't mind losing you as a viewer or a subscriber. All right, let's see here. All right, I think that's the last for the comments. But the last thing I always like to do is recognize the contributors. I've said it many, many times, and I've joked about it, like having to donate $1.99 for comparisons, which Anthony Brown Jr. takes me up on every single time with Springer. I think one time he spared me and had me do Road King. But I always like to recognize anybody who's contributed. Again, you don't have to do that. I'd love for you to just save your money and spend it on this ever expensive hobby that we're in, especially if you're a fans toys fan and have to spend $400 on Jester. But so this month also includes last month since we skipped it. So everyone who's contributed in the last month were Anthony Brown Jr., Craig Campbell, both of you who are in here, and that Ridiculous Badger also. Not trying to say that any of your donations influence whether you get on this live stream or not. Greg Williams, Alias56, Keith Lee, Kevin Davidson, LaMonster, Larkin Slayer, Matt McCardle, aka Partsformer, Paul Spurgeon, Prince of Phalanx, Thang, and TM Reviews. And then I always have a running list of those who donated the most in 2023 on the podium. Has been basically all year, I think, has been Shoki, who we have here. Again, not influencing who gets on this show at all. Prince of Phalanx, who's in the live stream, is on it quite a bit. He donated a lot recently and just took silver from Casey Fleming, who I don't know who Casey Fleming is. They came on literally once for one fan stores review, dropped $49.99, and just like peaced out. I've never seen them again. So whoever you are, thank you for that. Would love this more than $49.99. I'd love to see you back in the reviews, the live streams, leaving comments. Anything that you guys can contribute to me, that's great. I really don't want you guys to have to do that or need you guys to do that. I'd rather you guys just give a thumbs up, like, and share, join the Discord, and just have more fun conversations like this. The whole goal of Community Chatterday is to just have more interactions and grow the community around, the things that we love, and even try to grow that beyond just Transformers. So that's why every other month is kind of a Transformers collectors topic, and the next month is usually something that's not specific collector focused, like movies or learning how to take better photos, stuff like that. So long-winded way of saying just thank you everyone who's contributed. Jokey again donated $2.99 for some root beer. No, thank you. Oh, and Keith Lee always asks me to compare something to bubble tea, and I actually bought bubble tea today because I was gonna bring it on, and I forgot I threw it in the trash. It's what I was gonna compare a figure to bubble tea. Somebody asked me to compare to a hammer on Gears, and I did that. But in any case, thank you all for donating. Again, you don't have to, but I always appreciate it. All right, and I think that's it for. We don't have time for Q&A today. I think that's it. So next time we don't have a topic yet for next time, but we will have Jeopardy in about 2 weeks. So if you're interested in joining that, that's just a live Jeopardy. We have 3 contestants. Ridiculous Badger will be there. If any of you who are on now haven't participated yet, want to join, please let me know. And then anybody who's in the live stream or watching this on the rewind on YouTube, join the Discord channel and just say that you're interested. We'll have a tournament of champions at the end of the season where the 3 winners of the first 3 rounds will come back and they'll get a prize. And I think that's it. So, any last words from our guests before we
Okay. I asked in the chat, but I figured the reason I was brought on was to give like the young guy perspective on the show overall, right?
Okay.
And I feel like this is going to be, I don't know, it's not propaganda, I swear. But a lot of people in my generation, I think, have this view of the G1 show because of a recent thing towards it where people are like mad that, like, for example, the MP line is going full tune, or people don't like the increased tune accuracy in their toy lines, or people who never had any experience with the cartoon don't like it being present in anything they do. And I think that they're not really giving it a chance because the G1 show is legitimately good as a cartoon. Like, you're not going to go on Tom and Jerry and critique Tom and Jerry for like the things that people critique the G1 show for. I think you need to hold it in its own context, and as its own context as an 80s cartoon, it doesn't just hold up. Like it's good for what it is. And I think that as someone who recently rewatched it, I mean, like this morning, I finished Triple Takeover right before the right before this started. I genuinely enjoyed it. Like, as someone, like, there's a part in Ultimate Doom Part 3 where Braun is like, let me get the door, and he just runs to the door. That is peak cartoon comedy. Like, it's a good cartoon through and through, even if the animation errors or like the recycled dialogue or whatever. I think it's good. They didn't bring me on this show because I have that opinion. I'm sure they expected me to say that, like, well, as someone who grew up with the movies, I don't like it. But I enjoy the G1 cartoon a lot, actually. So, yeah, I'm not saying that to get on the show again or to anything like that. This is my first time, and I'm actually not a Pake viewer at all. I just got invited by Badger, who knows if know for someone else. But yeah, that's my young guy perspective, is that it is actually good. Stop hating, give it a chance. The tuners are not inherently evil.
Well, one of the things I think that we as G1ers, the rest of us and G1ers, I feel like we also are guilty a lot of times as a group of not being very open and respectful for like the new content that's out there. Like, some people won't watch the new shows because they're like, oh, this isn't G1, or they changed the character too much, or whatever it is. It's not what I grew up with. So I think it goes both ways, right? And I think one of the things that we just always have to be mindful of is that we're all Transformers fans in some way, shape, or form. Just because it's not the one you grew up with or the one that you prefer, I don't think that should mean we should be divisive in the community. If you can definitely, have your niche and have your group that shares very similar opinions, but I think it's always great to have differing opinions, like we do here, except about root beer, right? Everyone hates root beer.
Yes.
But about what episodes you like, what characters you like. That's why I like the ranking stuff that we do. This or that. I always just like to see what people's opinions are that differ from mine, and that way we can really kind of intelligently kind of explore other people's opinions, as opposed to just ignoring them and just saying like, oh, their opinion is just wrong, and being very like stubborn about that. And I think, again, people like you, Solace, who share a different opinion or a different perspective, maybe not even a different opinion, but a different perspective that may come to the same opinion, is always enlightening. Anthony Brown, like I said, always has just so much knowledge that he can drop, and that sometimes it will change my perspective on things, like, oh, I didn't know that. That changes my opinion on that character and so forth. Finding out that Galvatron in a different universe was RC's brother, I'm like, now I'm interested in finding out a little bit more about that, right? So I think it goes both ways, and I think the overall message is that we just need to be more open to things as opposed to being more closed off. And so I was like that with animated. I was like, oh, animated, look, the artwork's really wonky to me. And my other friends were like, you gotta watch it, it's great. And then I was like, oh, season one's such a slog. And then once I got into season 2, I was like, this shit is sick.
Yeah.
And then just being like, 20 years too late or whatever it was on that bandwagon.
I mean,
So-
once you get past the chins, animated's pretty good. I mean, it's really hard to get past the chins because they're all that's on the screen, but it's a pretty good show.
I'll say this. As always, this is an honor and a pleasure to be a part of, right? Because this community is diverse and welcoming. And I joke about the fans toy stuff. There are some really cool people who are all about fans toys. Shout out Jermaine Sutton. I'm actually looking forward to TFCon Orlando. It's going to be my first TFCon. So hopefully I get to meet some of the guys that are in the Discord or in the various Facebook groups I'm a part of at TFCon, because, from what I hear, they're all just tremendous times. And so I mean, having been a part of a bunch of different groups and communities, I still say this is the most welcoming. This is kind of the least toxic. And whenever we get together like this, it's always a blast. I'm always kind of crestfallen when I don't get to watch the live streams when we have Chatterdays, because it's so much fun to see everyone's opinion on this stuff. Sometimes I'm just in the comment section cutting up. But man, this is such a great place to be. So Solus, shout out to you, Shirokuo. Robot Show Tunes, we've been on several times together. Shoki, obviously we've talked kind of after the shows and done a bunch of different stuff. Badger, you too. Obviously, Peg, thanks for hosting. But man, whenever we get together, it's always a lot of fun. And because we've been doing this kind of for so long, it seems like we've been friends for a while. Even though this is maybe a year and a half, 2 years old now. But it seems like we've built these relationships over time. And I think that's the beauty of Transformers. As a whole, is it brings everyone in, and we all kind of seem like we're in this together, and we're brothers, family, or just kind of old friends from elementary school or high school talking about these robots.
Yeah, well said. All right, I brought you back. Ridiculous. Anything from you?
Man, everyone said everything. That's great. Can I plug a thing? Is
Yeah,
that
of course.
permitted?
Yes.
So, we're getting ready to do an event on the Show Z Store Discord server where we're going to survey people what figures you would like to see reissued. And we can't make any promises, but as a result of that, Show Z will utilize their purchasing power to attempt to get reissues of those figures that you vote on.
Nice. That's awesome.
That's cool.
I like that.
Community power there. All right.
Drop
well,
the link in
thanks
the
for plugging
Discord,
that.
right? So that everyone can link to it.
Yeah, you know what? Here's what I'll do. Come to Pake's Discord server, and I'll
Right.
post a link there.
That's what I meant.
Ooh,
Drop the
yeah.
link in Pake's
Yeah,
link.
drop the link in the Patreon.
Yeah.
Patreon. Whatever. Discord. One of those things where other people gather
I mean,
and
the
talk.
Patreon.
Yeah.
Sorry, I am
Hey,
the
Pete.
big Patreon.
All right,
Yeah, I
Robot
echo
Joe,
everything
anything,
that
any last
everyone
words
has
from you?
Not much. Everything worth saying's already been said. Thanks for having me again. Hope to do this again sometime in the future, and just visit me on my socials, as inactive as they are right now.
All right. Thanks, Robot. All right, Shiro.
Yeah, not much to say beyond what everybody else has said. I think I'm a lot more of a G1 comics guy than I am a Toon guy. So, like, especially the UK comic, that was really my G1 continuity. So I don't have a lot of familiarity with the show. I mean, I've seen episodes here and there. And I tried to watch it like a few years ago, and I found it kind of hard going to get through it. I'll be completely honest. There was some fun in there, to be sure, but I'm definitely more like, the comic, the UK comic stuff. That was my thing back in the 80s. other than that, I think everything everybody said about how, you know, your Discord, this community has been really welcoming, and it's been a really nice experience getting to know all you people. And what was the other things? Oh yeah, so my socials is just Shirokuro73 on. The only ones I'm really using these days are Discord, Threads, and Instagram. I'm not on with the X anymore. So I used to be super active on that, but I haven't touched that in months now. What an absolute mess.
Yeah.
And I want to plug Robot Showtunes' Instagram, because he's got some awesome pictures on there that he posts sometimes. So
Nice. All right. Well, thanks everyone. I know we said we were going to try to keep it a little bit shorter, but of course, I never plan well.
That's okay.
We finished at the top of the hour instead of the bottom of the hour, but I enjoyed every last minute of it. I came in super tired, but these are always like the favorite things I do. This and Jeopardy are like the favorite things I do. They get the least views of anything I do by far, but that doesn't stop me, because again, I learned, not that long ago, a year or two ago, that if I'm not doing the things I love, I'm just not going to keep going. So this is going to keep going forever. As long as I'm doing YouTube, I want to keep the community chatter days together. Thanks again for those of you who are recurring. I think everyone here has been recurring, including Anthony Brown. I think Solace is the only new one right now. I would love to see some more new blood. So again, I'll keep plugging it, but would love to see some new blood. I love all the regulars as well, but having new folks join just again expands and broadens our opinions and our perspectives. So please join. I'm not trying to do that to grow my Discord or to get an additional one. Like it's not like I'm getting money from you guys in Discord, no Patreon, nothing like that. I really just want more people to be involved and stuff like that. So that's my whole goal for this, and I'm hoping it's going to start growing more and more. Our Discord is, I think, up to like 180 or something like that, ridiculous last mention. So it'd be great to hit a milestone. Maybe I'll go ahead and commit right now. If we hit 200 before the end of the year, I'll throw out a prize in the Discord, because I was actually looking to set that up anyway. So
is it root beer?
Yeah, it'll be root beer.
6-pack of root beer. It'll be Pake's sweet ass root beer.
Yeah.
Pake for root beer.
New sweet ass
or the
flavor.
trademarked on that.
Yeah,
and
then
thanks everyone.
Be...
Thanks everyone for your time. I know Anthony Brown's on in the backstage as well, where he started and where he really belongs. So we'll just
That's
back.
crazy. That's crazy.
He's been relegated to the room.
You guys can't see it. He's shaking his head. I can see it.
I wish we could see the green room.
But thanks so much, everyone who joined. Primax, Sean Moore was really participating this one as well. Thanks to everyone. We'll be back next month, the third Saturday of every month we do Chatterday. So we'll see you in October. Thanks all. Have a good one.
Bye.
Okay, that's where we wave awkwardly until I find the end stream button. All right, there we go.